Hello everyone. Welcome back to some honest analysis. In this episode we are going to focus on why ETH is a gift to the world of football. We are going to dissect his style, his tactics, and ultimately the philosophy behind what makes him an absolute genius. ETH has a simple style of play. I implore you to so the next time you watch Manchester United play you will see exactly each step being played out throughout the game. This is how you will become a better viewer, a more learned fan, and ultimately a decent human being. We don't deceive you, we keep it honest. Step 1: Ball timing. ETH is not about possession football. If you think about it for a second, having possession means nothing. It means you are safe from any threat or allowing any strategic maneuvers to happen because football requires control over the ball first in order to do anything else. So come to think of it, the possession teams are admitting something to you, that they are afraid. They lack any real ideas in how to play the game. They are telling you that they will waste the minutes as a method of hopefully not allowing the other team to do anything. So, ball timing is what ETH does extremely well and has done so throughout his whole career. Now you are probably hearing this for the first time, and that is okay. You haven't exactly been watching or listening to Honesty up until us, so it is expected. What is ball timing? It is essentially ETH training his players to have the mentality that moments will arise in the game when the opposing team are weak. This weakness is a pathway to penetrate, and the penetration usually leads to a desired outcome. Ball timing in ETH, and I genuinely think ETH is the only manager to have figured this out, is to ride the match with discipline and wait for the moment. The players know when these moments are likely to happen or occur, as the waves of the repetitive behavior most if not all teams employ will come and go, and Manchester United players, especially captains like Fernandes and Maguire, can sense when one of those repetitive waves lack a little punch or commitment. It is in those moments United will snatch the ball and use that window of opportunity to play one of ETH's genius plays, which usually leads to an almost certain goal-scoring chance. Ball timing is an art, and ETH drills this into the mindset, the very fabric of a player's physical essence, that when they are on the pitch it is United players who are aware of how to play the ball timing method, whilst their opponents are drilled in conventional and orthodox means or 100% clueless to. Step 2: The field is a board game. Now this is rather simple yet very complicated and intricate, requiring hours and hours if not years of dedicated practice. The best way to explain this method of ETH's is to think of a chessboard or any similar board game where the field of play is segmented into different maneuvering plots. ETH grew up playing board games of numerous varieties in the coffeehouses of his small town, which are no longer a common feature in today's time. It might be that the movements of these various games are embedded into his mind, and through that his method of treating the field as a board game with designated movements and strategic plays was born out. If you observe United games, you will see that players move in certain ways that are confounding to the average mind. You might find yourself thinking that was a nonsense run or what a waste of a pass. You have definitely heard yourself saying, why are you playing sideways or backwards, or what kind of pass is that into no man's land? Well, with every ETH team, every move is intentional. It is 90 minutes of a board game being played out where players are strategically moving around the field in order to set up what you can say is checkmate situations. Nothing ETH does is for show or mindlessly wasting time. Every action you see a United player take is a move being made on the board. That is why it is so fascinating watching ETH teams. There is a real art to what he is doing. In fact, we sometimes get lost or oftentimes amazed by new variations of movements ETH employs. A genius will never stop to invent what looks like chaos and disorder to the rest. Once you start to observe the movements of United players, you will begin to see a whole new form of football being played. It is absolutely beautiful, and we hope you do get there. You will never look at the game, rather United games, the same again. Step 3: Simple philosophy. ETH keeps everything simple. Employing steps 1 and 2 is his philosophy. We all know how to play football, for the most part, the rules of play. Most teams rely on the athletic ability of their players to carry them through. ETH relies on the mind. You see, ETH has always believed that if you cannot outrun the gazelle, then you ought to outsmart it. Why hunt the prey when you can invite it to your door? In footballing terms, Ed uses the tools he has. He does not complain, he does not seek billions, he does not need it. ETH scans the field of play, the landscape of his clubs, the vision of the directors, and the passion of the fans. He takes all that into account and simply teaches his players the basics of the game. His players do not need to be extraordinary in any way, They only need to learn and experience the feeling of steps 1 and 2. It is what all geniuses have in common. They do the simple things so well, it becomes complicated and unintelligible to the masses. We are keeping it honest, and in time you will too.